Canada and the United States both start their World Cup campaigns today, and both co-hosts are under serious pressure. Canada faced Bosnia and Herzegovina in Toronto. The USA faced Paraguay in Los Angeles. Canada are chasing their first ever World Cup win. The USA are trying to start a home tournament with control, confidence, and 3 points. But neither opponent is simple. Bosnia are unbeaten in 8 matches. Paraguay had one of the best defensive records in South American qualifying. So today, we're going through the match news, current form, head-to-head records, hot stats, key players, missing players, win probabilities, and my score predictions. Let's get into it. The first match is Canada versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. Kickoff is 8 p.m. UK time. Then later, the USA face Paraguay. That match kicks off at 2 a.m. UK time on Saturday. Both matches matter because they involve World Cup co-hosts. Canada need a first World Cup win. The USA need to avoid a nervous start. Bosnia want to prove their unbeaten run is real, and Paraguay want to turn defensive strength into a World Cup result. Let's start with Canada versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. Canada are playing their second consecutive World Cup finals. It is only their third World Cup appearance overall, but their tournament record is still poor. Canada have played 6 World Cup matches, and Canada have lost all 6. 3 defeats in 1986, 3 defeats in 2022. They have scored only 2 goals at the World Cup, and they have conceded an average of 2 goals per match. So this opener is not just about getting points. It is about changing Canada's World Cup history. Only El Salvador have played as many World Cup games with a 100% losing record. So Canada are trying to get away from that statistic immediately. They are co-hosts, they are playing in Toronto, and Jesse Marsch has already helped Canada show progress in recent major tournaments. But the pressure is obvious. If Canada win, they make history. If Canada fail to win, the old World Cup questions continue. Canada's biggest advantage is the location. Their record in Toronto is excellent. 18 wins, 9 draws, only 1 defeat. That is a serious home record. And against Bosnia, Canada will need that home energy, because 5 of Canada's 6 World Cup defeats came against European opposition. Bosnia are another European opponent, so this is a direct test of whether Canada can finally change that pattern. Canada also have major team news concerns. Alphonso Davies is likely to miss the opening match. That is a big issue. Davies is Canada's captain. He is their biggest international name, and he gives them pace, leadership, and elite level quality. Marcelo Flores is also out of the tournament, and Moise Bombito has had recovery concerns. So Canada still have talent, but the burden shifts even more onto Jonathan David. Canada need goals, and without Davies, David becomes the main attacking reference point. Now Bosnia and Herzegovina. This is Bosnia's second World Cup appearance. Their first was in 2014, when they were eliminated in the group stage. This time, they arrive with strong momentum. Bosnia lost only 1 of their 8 initial qualifiers. 5 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat. Then they had to get through playoff ties against Wales and Italy. That route was not easy, but it means Bosnia arrived tested. Bosnia have scored in all 10 of their qualification and playoff matches. They are also unbeaten in their last 8 games. That is important, because this is not a team arriving cold. They have rhythm, they have confidence, and they have experience. But there is one concern. Bosnia have had 5 straight regular time draws. That tells us they are hard to beat, but it also tells us they can struggle to turn matches into wins. Against a host nation, that could make this game very tight. This will be the first ever meeting between Canada and Bosnia and Herzegovina, so there is no head-to-head history, no previous competitive meeting, no World Cup rivalry, just 2 teams with very different pressures. Canada need a historic first World Cup win. Bosnia want to start with at least a point. For Canada, a draw would feel disappointing. For Bosnia, a draw away against a host nation would be a useful result. Here are the hot stats for Canada versus Bosnia. Only 2 of Canada's last 11 matches saw both teams score. 9 of Canada's last 10 matches produced under 2.5 total goals. So Canada's recent matches have usually been tight and low scoring. Bosnia are different. 8 of Bosnia's last 9 matches saw both teams score. And Bosnia have scored 8 of their last 10 goals after halftime. So if this game is level at the break, Bosnia will believe they can hurt Canada late. For Canada, the key player is Jonathan David. He is Canada's all-time top goal scorer with 39 goals. Across Canada's last 2 major tournaments, he has been involved in more than a third of their goals. 4 goals, 1 assist. With Alphonso Davies likely out, David is the obvious player Canada need to deliver. For Bosnia, the key player is Edin Džeko. He is 40 years old, but he is still Bosnia's talisman. He scored 6 goals in 9 appearances during World Cup qualifying, and he played in all 3 of Bosnia's matches at the 2014 World Cup. This is experience against pressure. The win probability graphic gives Canada the edge. Canada, 58%. Bosnia and Herzegovina, 19%. That makes Canada favorites. Home advantage matters. Toronto form matters. But the team news issue with Alphonso Davies matters too. Bosnia's unbeaten run also matters. And the stats point towards a tight game rather than a comfortable home win. So my prediction is Canada 1. Bosnia and Herzegovina 1. I think Canada start with energy, but Bosnia make the game difficult. Canada may control parts of the match, but Bosnia's second half scoring trend is a concern. For Canada, this would be frustrating because the first World Cup win would still be waiting. For Bosnia, it would be a strong start. My prediction again, Canada 1, Bosnia and Herzegovina 1. Now let's move to USA versus Paraguay. The USA began their World Cup campaign at Los Angeles Stadium. Kickoff is 2 a.m. UK time on Saturday. The USA are co-hosts. They have home advantage, they have a talented squad, and they have a manager with a major reputation in Mauricio Pochettino. But this is not a soft opener. Paraguay are defensive, organized, and difficult to break down. The USA reached the round of 16 the last time they hosted the World Cup in 1994. They also reached the knockout stage in each of their last 3 World Cup appearances. So the expectation is clear. The USA are not just hoping to qualify from the group, they are expected to qualify. Their recent group stage record is also strong. Across their last 9 World Cup group matches, they have lost only once. That defeat came against Germany in 2014, who went on to win the tournament. But current form has created questions. The USA have had mixed results under Pochettino. They have shown attacking quality, but they have also had defensive concerns. Recent results include a 3-2 win against Senegal and a narrow 2-1 defeat to Germany. The USA also starred at Los Angeles Stadium, and they lost both matches they played at that venue last year by 1-goal margins. So even at home, this venue does not automatically feel comfortable. The USA need a controlled start, they need discipline, and they need their key players to take responsibility. Now, Paraguay. Paraguay are back at the World Cup for the first time since 2010. Their qualification campaign was impressive. They finished level on points with Colombia, Uruguay, and Brazil. They also had the second best defensive record in CONMEBOL qualifying. That is the main warning for the USA. Paraguay are not easy to beat. They are organized, they are compact, and they can make games ugly. But Paraguay's attacking numbers are a concern. They scored only 0.78 goals per game during qualifying. That was the joint lowest average of any team that reached these finals. So Paraguay are strong defensively, but they do not usually score many goals. They also have a poor record in opening World Cup games. Only 1 win from their last 8 World Cup openers. 4 draws, 3 defeats. So Paraguay's biggest challenge is simple. Can they defend well and still find enough attacking threat to hurt the USA? The head-to-head record favors the United States. The USA have won the last 3 meetings between these teams. Those matches came between 2016 and 2025, but all 3 wins were by 1-goal margins. That is important, because the USA have been winning this matchup, but not easily. This will also be their first World Cup meeting since 1930. Back then, the USA beat Paraguay 3-0. That was one of the USA's biggest World Cup wins, but this version of Paraguay will probably make the game much tighter. Here are the hot stats for USA versus Paraguay. 6 of the USA's last 7 games produced over 2.5 total goals. So recent USA games have had goals. But at the 2022 World Cup, the USA conceded only 1 goal across their 3 group stage matches. That shows they can become much more disciplined during tournaments. For Paraguay, the defensive trend is very strong. They conceded 0 or 1 goal in each of their last 10 World Cup fixtures. They also scored 5 of their 14 qualifying goals from set pieces. So Paraguay's route is clear. Defend deep, keep the score low, and look for danger from corners, free kicks, and second balls. For the USA, the key player is Christian Pulisic. He was involved in all 3 of the USA's goals at the 2022 World Cup. 1 goal, 2 assists. He also contributed to the first 2 goals in the USA's recent win against Senegal. So when the USA needed decisive action, Pulisic is the obvious name. For Paraguay, the key player is Miguel Almiron. He assisted Paraguay's only goal in the last head-to-head meeting. He also scored in their recent 4-0 win over Nicaragua. Almiron gives Paraguay speed, transition threat, and Premier League experience. Team news is important here. For the USA, Pochettino says the squad is in strong physical, mental, and tactical shape. Chris Richards has been recovering but is available for selection. There is also a goalkeeper question. Pochettino has settled on his starting 11, but he has not publicly confirmed whether Matt Turner or Matt Freese will start in goal. For Paraguay, Julio Enciso is likely to miss out. That is a blow because Enciso gives them creativity and unpredictability in attack. The win probability graphic makes this one close. USA, 39%. Paraguay, 33%. That gap is not big. The USA are favorites, but only slightly. That fits the match profile. The USA have more attacking names and home advantage. Paraguay have defensive discipline and set-piece threat. This feels like a 1-goal game, so my prediction is USA 1, Paraguay 0. I think the USA will have to work for it. Paraguay will defend well. They will slow the game down, and they will try to frustrate the crowd. But I think the USA find one decisive moment, most likely through Christian Pulisic or from a set-piece situation. My prediction again, USA 1, Paraguay 0. So here is the prediction recap. First, Canada 1, Bosnia and Herzegovina 1. Then, USA 1, Paraguay 0. That would mean Canada avoid defeat, but still wait for their first World Cup win. Bosnia start with a useful point. The USA start with 3 points. And Paraguay leave with frustration after another low-scoring game. Both matches look close, and both co-hosts have pressure. So those are my predictions. Now I want yours. Will Canada finally win a World Cup match? Can Bosnia spoil the party in Toronto? Will the USA start with a win? Or can Paraguay frustrate another host nation? Comment your predictions below. And if you want daily World Cup match previews, team news, predictions, reactions, and football stories throughout the tournament, subscribe to Ali Pro Library and turn on notifications. Let's go!